Right, we are ready to rumble. It's a good morning to roll. Right, a quick one. I'm going to introduce you to web services. All right, our roadmap, what is it that we're going to do today? I'll tell you more about myself, about the module, and then we'll have our first introductory lesson to web services. That's basically what we're going to do today. Right, firstly, I am Vuisile Meman. All right. I'm one of those people who have fallen in love with their name. This is a wonderful Xhosa name. It means the one who brings joy. These past 10 years, it has been a privilege for one to be associated with TUT, to teach in here. A privilege and an honor, because you get to appreciate that a number of people, they are in spaces, they are in workplaces, whereby they are not really getting fulfilled. But with me, TUT has been good in a way. I mean, this is when I'm before students, when I talk to people, that is where I am at home. All right, and then TUT granted me that opportunity. Yeah, as I said, that out of that name of mine, meaning the one who brings joy, I've been doing exactly that. I see familiar faces over here. They know the kind of person that I've always brought joy to a number of students around here. I'm in office 2202 here in Soshanguve. That is my email address, memaniv@tut.ac.za. That is my cell number. Make use of that cell number. We are going to create a WhatsApp group. During the course of the week, I'm going to send you a link. You click on that link, then you'll be joining that WhatsApp group basically of one. That's how I've been working throughout. So my take will be that on the issue of the cell phone, you can make use of the cell phone. Call me at any time. The only condition is that normally during the course, right, I'm available until 9:30. After 9:30 is family time. I'm married, as you can see. So after 9:30, it's just family time with my bebeza and the young one. Okay, so are we fine on that one? Okay. Now, let's quickly talk about the module. This is a web service course. So what we will be doing in this course is that we are going to do two things. One, we'll create web services. Two, we will consume them. All right. And then the framework that we are going to use, it is the JEE framework. Now, I would appreciate if you can quickly have a look at the study guide. That study guide will show exactly how we're going to work during the entire semester. And let's quickly go to that study guide. Try to project the study guide there. Okay, let's do this further. So there is our study guide. Right, as I said, this is TPG 401T. Then I'm the one who compiled this. Let's quickly go to interesting stuff. Right. Let me quickly go to the schedule. I think that is the important one, the schedule. So we are on this week for today, right? We are on the introductory part of it. In this course, we are going to have 4 semester tests. As you can see, we have semester test 1, 2, where is 3, dear Lord? 3 and 4. Those are the 4 semester tests that we are going to have in this module. And there's all of these tests, they will be open book. Now we are BTech students, we are no longer diploma students, undergrads. So over here, this is going to be an open book one. All right. For the semester tests. Closed book is only going to be the exam. But the semester tests, they are open. Right. And what we are also going to do, it is that each student, we will try to simulate the actual environment. All right. So as a result of that, each student is going to work with minimum of 4 pieces. And those pieces, they must communicate. That is the integration of systems in here. That's what we are going to do over here. So a student will be working with a minimum of 4 pieces before. All right. And So you really need to look for, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this. Last year, the first semester, when I started off with this module, I really enjoyed it. I hope other people, all of you basically, we are new faces. That BTEC classes, basically, they really, really enjoyed themselves. Okay. So another thing that you need to appreciate it is that the way that I teach is the way that I assess. The way that I teach is the way that I assess. TPG. Right. The way that I teach is the way that I assess. I'm talking of a student being before 4 pieces, integrating the set systems. That I will show you in class how to do that. Right. I won't expect you to do something that I haven't showed you. I'll show you. All right. And then thereafter you'll be on your own. They always say in English, it takes 2 to tango, ne? I will do my part of the dancing, then I'll also expect you basically to do yours. All right, I found on that one. We are also going to have tutorial sessions. The way that I've arranged the schedule, it is that we will have 1 or 2 topics. The third session, it will be a tutorial session, whereby we do the actual practice, and then the fourth session, the fourth contact session, then it gets to be a test. Okay. So that is how we are really going to work over here. We are also going to have a project. Now, if you look at that project, I'm saying that there is only one phase, and that is the final phase. We don't have the intermediate phases. It's only one phase. So we are going to do a project or projects, and then you will be presenting a working program on the said day. It is the 23rd of May. It will be during the week on a Wednesday. Implying what? Need to make arrangements, because most of you over here, they are employed, isn't it? You are employed. Make the necessary arrangements with your employer whilst it's still early. That is my request, because we are not going to take excuses over here. No, I couldn't, my employer refused, blah, blah, and the like. So we are not going to take such. You don't pitch up, I give you a 0 with a smile. It's easy as that. Now let's quickly talk about the project. In December, something interested me in NASREC. All right, the ANC conference. Firstly, I was interested in the outcome of the conference, but as an IT person, something also caught my attention therein. All right, we had this question of credentials, verification of credentials by ANC. They wanted to prove to say that the person who is in that conference, that person is supposed to be there. All right. So if you followed that conference, you would have seen that they took almost 2 days just verifying credentials. It was worse prior to this national conference. It was worse prior to this national conference in the Eastern Cape, where there was what was deemed the Festival of Chairs, ne? Just on the basis of credentials, people disagreeing on the issues of the credentials. So this is what we are then going to do. I want us to solve the problem for the African National Congress. So you are going to come up with an application that is going to assist them on the issue of credentials. That's the first one. That's the first project. Right. Second project that I want to put before you, it is a number of it's not everyone over here is accustomed with the environment here in TUT, our campus. All right. We are having people who didn't do their undergrad here. It's the very first time that they come to TUT. And then a number of times find people, they struggle finding venues around. So we need an application over here that is going to allow people to easily locate venues around here. That is my second one. If you have any other project that you think you'd love to do, please, I would appreciate that you come through, you pitch the idea to one. Then I'll okay that. I find on that one. So 2 projects that I'm putting on the table, you can always come up basically with yours, but we need to talk. Questions? Thus far? Sit here.
Is it only this campus?
Come again?
For the project for locating the premise in the premises.
Yeah, let's just restrict ourselves. We can always extend, ne? I worked well with you, ne? You really gave us tough time, man. Okay?
This information is online already.
This information, no, I'll come to that part. Right, Bob?
So I wanted to only use Java, or can you use other languages?
That is a good one. In class, we are going to use...
Just repeat the questions, because we couldn't hear what they were.
Oh, so the question, by the remind me your name?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, there's a question from Utlutleng. He's saying that, are we only going to use Java as a programming language for this course? The answer to that, Utlutleng, is that in class, all right, we are going to use Java. The specific framework that we are going to work in is the JEE framework, all right? But for the project part of it, you can use whatever programming language, whatever framework that you are comfortable with. That is for the project. I found on that one.
So you can even create a mobile app?
Yeah, I can do that. So long as it will contain these components. All right, web services components, that I would appreciate. Okay, that is for the project.
Yeah.
Because what we want to do is that I want you, when you get out of this class, end of the semester, you ought to say that I know something. And that something must be the creation and the consumption of web services using the JEE framework. That's it. So we are clear on what we want to accomplish over here. Right. Let's quickly go to the weights. I think it's right at the end, towards the end. Jesus, where are the weights, Father? There we are. So these are the weights. We are having 4 semester tests. Each semester test is 15%. All right. We also have a project. That project will contribute 40% towards your predicate. Okay. Right. So the next thing also to do is to have what, Father? Right. It is issues when you have complaints as a student. You know, I might be this nice guy, but at times may find that we are disagreeing. In life, we'll always agree, disagree at times, ne? But then you need to know how to escalate your problems for them to be attended as a student. One, as a student, if you're having any problems, you can always talk to your lecturer first. I am your lecturer. If you are not deriving any joy, you can talk to the module coordinator. I am the module coordinator. That is the second cap I'm wearing. If you have a problem with the module coordinator, you can talk to the section head. I am the section head. That's another cap. It's only when we can't solve your problems, you go to the HOD. That is Hannes Retif. All right? After Hannes Retif, can go to the dean, that is Professor Mpatlele, or the DVC, that will be Professor Mkola. Fine on that one. Thank you very much. Right. I will give you this study guide. You can always go through and check the other details as to say specifically the topics that we are going to work with. Maybe let me quickly say 1 or 2 of these ones. Roughly the topics that we are going to treat. Father, where are they? Yeah, roughly that is what we are going to do. But 6 of them. 1, we are going to talk RESTful web services. We are going to work with SOAP-based web services. We will talk the creation, validation, and transformation of XML documents, because that is key, is very important. We will also talk on how to secure our web services, and then the usage of EJBs. We'll talk of JPA, database connectivity. Those are the topics that will be before us. As to how they will be done, we have these our learning outcomes, the assessment criteria, and the like. So that information basically is in here to say specifically what is expected of you as a student. Let's quickly have a look at the books. I only managed to put 2 books here. The first one, it is your Java Web Services Up and Running by Martin Carlin. The next one is Beginning Java EE Platform with Glassfish 3. So it is this first one. Second one, further, it is this one. But I also make use of this one. It's called the Java EE7 tutorial. It's quite a good one. I have the Web Services Security. It's a wonderful book. Right, Beginning XML. Wonderful book. So these are the resources that I normally make use of, but another useful resource, it is the NetBeans website. NetBeans website, www.netbeans.org. That's quite a wonderful resource to work with. Then you also, even Google. Google is the best teacher, ne? Right, so these are the books. Now, questions on the study guide. Right, let's proceed then. Right, let's continue with the presentation. Okay, we had a look at the study guide. There we are. Now, let's talk web services, the actual lesson for the day, the introduction to web services. Now, these are the questions that we are going to answer today in the session. 1 is to say that what are web services? 2, why are they so important? 3, what kinds, types of flavors of web services are in existence? And then these web services, where are they located in that JEE framework? That's what we are going to do. Start with the very first one, web services. Now, there's a plethora. Okay, welcome. Peter. Right, there's a plethora, myriad, many definitions that are associated with web services. So I only put up these 3 out of the many. 1, we are told that web services are simply webified applications. Simply put, they are webified applications, meaning that these are services that are available over the web. That is part 1. That is put therein as a definition of web services. Another one, it is that these are distributed applications whose functionality is exposed over the web. I appreciated that one a bit. When I tried to investigate that one further, then I got to ask myself, then what is the difference between a website and a web service? I found that with a website, to a large extent, you can only interact with it through the browser, isn't it? But the very same website, you can change it and render it to be a web service. How do you do that? By merely exposing the functionality thereof as a web service. So even any programmer can then be able to do it, to write a program that can interact with that. Your normal users can use a browser, but as a programmer, I will say that, oh, there is the functionality of Amazon. Right, can I write a program that is going to interact with that functionality that has been exposed as a web service? Right, another definition that was put forth, of which I also appreciated, is that these are just self-contained modular applications that can be published, 1, described, located, and invoked over the web. So those are the 3 definitions with regards to web services. Why are they so important? Why are they so important? 1, they facilitate the seamless integration of heterogeneous systems. What do we mean by that? It is that you may have different systems, but through web services, then you can be able to make systems that are disparate or different to communicate with each other. How do you do that? By merely exposing the functionalities of those systems as web services. All right? And then this makes distributed systems to be both platform and programming language independence. That's what we get from web services. By platform independence, we mean that a Microsoft system can be able to talk to a Linux system. That is platform dependence. By language dependence, we simply say that it doesn't matter what language each system has been created, whether one language has been in Java, another one in C++ and the likes, those two will be able to communicate through web services. That is the importance of web services. It's just the integration of systems. Right, what flavors are there? We simply have two of them. It is your RESTful style web services and then the SOAP-based web services. And then we are going to study both in here. We are going to study both. Now, I said that initially, the purpose of this class, the purpose of this course, TPG 401T, it is to create and consume web services. And then we are specific using what framework? That is the JEE framework. Right, we are specific in that regard. Then the question that follows from that is to say that, what is this JEE? Right, it is simply a host of APIs that are meant for enterprise/business, for the development of enterprise/business applications. So through JEE, what JEE has is that it has this set of APIs. This set of APIs will enable us to do one thing. One, just to develop enterprise/business applications. That's what that JEE is all about. And then the acronym simply stands for Java Enterprise Edition. Previously, it used to be known as the J2 EE. Right? There are also other frameworks. This is not the only one. So you have your Hibernate, your Spring, Structs. And then something in that statement that I've also put, it is the etc. Immediately you see somebody writing etc., etc., it means somebody is running out of facts. That is what etc. means. Okay. And then the services that are provided by JEE, it is high levels to these enterprise applications. It will be high levels of availability, interoperability, that is your system integration, security, transactionality, distributability, and scalability. Now let's quickly have a look at some of these APIs, because why are we looking at some of the APIs that are constituting JEE? It is because we want to see, as to say that, where are web services located in this framework? All right. The first one, it is the JXWS. That stands for Java API for XML Web Services. That API is used to create SOAP-based web services. If you go to them, if you want to see the actual specification, you can go to Google and then you download that JSR 224. But what I will also do it is that this document, I will also put them up. They are easily available. Okay, you can quickly go through them. Okay. And then we have the JXRS, that is the Java API that we use for RESTful web services, also called as JSR 311. And the servlet one, we also have APIs for the JSPs, for the EJPs, and the likes. They are just a host of them. They are just a host of them. So, as I said, that JEE 6 came up with 33 of these specifications or APIs. Understand that currently we are on JEE 7, and then JEE 8 is under construction. All of these specifications, they are developed by the Java community process. But as developers, normally we don't worry ourselves much about these specifications. We only concern ourselves with the containers that implement these specifications. Now let's quickly have a look at containers. We define what a container is. Roughly said, a container is a reference implementer of the JEE specifications. That's what containers are. all right, reference implementers of the JE specifications. What they do is that they provide the developers with a set of APIs they support and the service they offer to those components. And then we have two of them. Mainly, it is your web containers and then your EJB containers. Those are the two web containers. These are containers that implement only the web component of JEE. That is your servlet, JSF, JSPs, and the EJB Lite. They are also known as web servers. An example thereof is Tomcat. So Tomcat is a web server. It's a web server, and that is also known as a web container. All right. In our institution, especially at diploma level, previously, before the past 2 years, our students were highly exposed to Tomcat. We've been using a Tomcat highly. But I came in and made changes. We went to the EJB container, of which they are also known as the application server, is Glassfish. So for the past 2 years, our third years have been making use of Glassfish as an EJB container. All right. TUT is having wonderful buildings. But that is the intro for today. But then let me also show you something. Okay. Right. The software that we are going to use is NetBeans 8.0.2. All right. And the beauty about 8.0 is that it's highly stable. You try and use 8.1 something, you are going to see, especially when we create, what are those things called, Telot? When we create data sources, database interactivity, you are going to experience problems. But with 8.0, it's stable in that regard. Okay? So all of this information that I have presented to you today, I am going to put it up on my tutor by 11 o'clock. Not 11 o'clock. Yeah, by 11 o'clock. The study guide will be on my tutor. The software for you to download will be on my tutor. And this introductory lesson on web services will also be on my tutor. All right. Right. So next week, when we come back next week, we are going to start with the real work. So two things we are going to do next week. We are going to introduce the concepts of EJBs. It's EJBs and the JPA. All right. So we'll have our EJBs. We make sure that they are also able to talk to the database. That's what we are going to do basically for next week. Right. Another thing is that really make sure that you familiarize yourself with my tutor. As I said, all of the information is going to be put on my tutor. When I communicate with you, I'll communicate with you via my tutor. Right. For those who don't know how to work with my tutor, we are having students, former TUT students, people who are here for their diploma. They are highly familiar with my tutor. They can always assist you. Come again? Thank you very much. It's from Monday. Wonderful. I'll be on YouTube. That's great. Looking forward to this. Going to be famous. Questions? Let me just say to everyone, in this course you must be ready to work hard and smart in the process. As I said, one thing that we are going to have over here, a student will be sitting before a minimum of 3-4 computers. So what we are not going to have in this class is people who are going to behave who are going to lift up others and look at self as grasshoppers. We're not going to have that. We're not going to raise the profile of somebody else. You find about 3 students congregating before one computer. That's not going to happen. We are going to build confidence over here. As you look in that study guide of one, there are tutorial sessions for about 3 hours. It's because I would have taught you the theoretical component, I would have demonstrated, and thereafter I give you a set of exercises for you to do. Now, it means that I want individuals who are going to work. You'll be before your computer, 2 to 3 of them, and then you do your work therein. That's how we develop confidence. And then those that I work with at undergrad, they will tell you that I'm such a nice person. After my name, after all, I'm Vuyisile. All right. And then I will do my level best to answer every question. That I will do. Where I don't have an answer, I'll go and find out. I'll never lie. All right? But one thing that I know, I might not have an answer today, but tomorrow I must have an answer. That's why I'm employed. I'll come up with an answer tomorrow. That's what I will do. Then, so you can ask me any question, but never ever ask me a question that I know you're supposed to know, to have an answer of during a test situation. I will say, I don't know, with a smile. Whilst you are panicking, computers are not communicating, say, but, and then I know that you are supposed to know this, I will say, I don't know. Okay. Last but not least, I will also put up previous question papers so that you really have a feel as to how do I set. I don't really have this theoretical component. This course is entirely practical. It's practical. It's practical work. I want to see your understanding of theory in the practice. That's what I want to see. So our tests are going to be the same even for the exams. A student will be before 3 to 4 computers. I mark functionality. I don't mark code. If, no, say, but I have this import. Here is an if, here is a while. Forget that. I don't mark for loop, while loop. Starting 3rd year, I only do that at 1st year, 2nd year. 3rd year upwards, I mark functionality. So, I will always give you a problem statement and say to you, these are the things that your application ought to do. Your application gets to do what I want, I give you a full mark. Doesn't do what is expected of it to do, I give you a 0 with a smile. Easiest like. It's 0, 1.
0 and 100.
Thank you. In terms of
Remind me your name, Bob.
Kanyis,
Yes, Nkanyis.
in terms of the scope, we throughout the whole year including examination, will the focus be on SOAP-based or RESTful or both?
Yeah, this is what okay, the question gets to be that with regards to scope, how is one going to put up the tests? Let me tell you this, the structure thereof. I'm one person who is, I'm open. Before a test, I will tell you the structure of the test. My tests are, all of them, they're always out of 100. From now, you also know that it's only going to be one question and the things that you ought to do. It's either you got it or not. All right. I don't have a problem of giving you 0. I also don't have a problem of giving you 100. Right. All of these tests, that the way that we are going to work with them for now, it is that maybe, I think the first test is going to be more about your EJBs and database interactivity. All right. Second one, it will just be about RESTful web services. Third, let's say it's going to be what on SOAP-based web services. Your exams is going to be a combination of, you'll have one system running SOAP, another one running REST. They ought to communicate. But as I said, I'm not going to take you by surprise. I'll tell you exactly the structure, what I want. You give me what I want, I give you all the marks. You don't do that, I'll give you a 0 with a smile. I don't have a problem with that. What time is it now, dear Lord? It's 18 past.
So, Vito,
Voila.
are we going to get enough time? Like, for instance, you say you're going to just give us the problem statement. That's the question. So, do we get enough time to plan our things, how we're going to develop the program?
Yeah, remember that you have about 4 hours, ne? It's 4 hours to do one problem. I'm not going to tell you how to attack the problem, designing, analysis, design. What I'm just interested in is the implementation. My understanding is that at this level, you guys, we have the necessary tools of doing your analysis and your design. Whatever tools that you got, all right? I'm just interested in the implementation. Give me something that works. So in that 4 hours, you must factor everything in. All right. That's it, ne? My wife is waiting for me. Later?
Sure. Just a quick question. Is the study guide on 19th?
I'm going to put that study guide before 11 o'clock, everything. The study guide will be there, today's presentation, and the software that you must install in your PCs. That is NetBeans 8.0. Peter?
You mentioned that during the test,
Yes.
it will be open book so you can get information from where.
Yeah.
But for the exams, you're not going to be able to get that information.
Right, Peter's question is to say that he wants to confirm this open book, closed book issue. All of my tests, but those 4 semester tests, they are open book. Can bring whatever material you want. Why is that the case? It is because there is this one professor that I really love when I was a student at Stellenbosch University. It was called Dup. He said that in life it's not really about knowing everything, but what is key is knowing where to find something when you need it. And then I moved with that principle. Unfortunate part of it is that I don't really have those powers when it comes to exams. Ne? I can practice that where I have the authority, that is your semester test. But in the exams, it's just a closed book test. Right. Ita? Yes, Tapel.
So when you mean all your materials, does that include, like, can I bring like my tablet or something like that?
Ever, Tapel. Never, you can bring in, all the tests, they are open book. Can bring whatever. There will always be internet access. We are going to make sure that there is internet access over here. You can go to Google and the likes. That's it. It's all about knowing what to use when you need. Get hold of it, you use, it works. That's it. All right. Can I say that this is the end of our class? Right. Then let's meet next week on Saturday. We'll communicate with you during the course of the week because we still need to work out this issue of the slot clashes with the DSO class. I'll communicate with you via my tutor. And then the beauty of my tutor is that I'm able to post up a message. There's also an option of sending you your, an email to your TUT account. That is the beauty of my tutor. So that's how we are going to communicate. Thank you very much. Enjoy yourselves. God bless you.